Okay, so this is the Fiberglassed carbon fiber sample pack here, and I just want to try out different options for the leading edge to put it underneath the Textream. I think it's 80 grams per square meter, 80 grams per square meter thickness. So this is just a toe, not too useful. This is a tape, and my sense is this is 3K, and my sense is that although it might look okay, I think there's probably would be a ridge that would form where the fabric twists around there. So I think you'd see a noticeable ridge there. So I think that's probably not a good option there. This is a 3K carbon braided, and it's just way too thick. Plus it has edges there, so that doesn't seem too good. This is a 1K 3.5 ounce. I think this actually might be pretty good. It would, and we could think about it on a bias or on a 90-degree bias, or on 90 degrees like this, folding over. In which case, it would seem like it would leave a pretty good seal. Or you could imagine it on a 45 bias there. I think the real question here is how would it handle the compound curve? So if we look at the 45 here, it seems pretty stiff. Like it doesn't seem like it would easily go around a compound curve without bunching up there. So that might be a bit of an issue. It does have pretty good coverage, but it seems pretty stiff. It's got a little bit of flexibility this way, of course none this way. So that's a potential option. It's very light as a 1K carbon fiber weave. It's only 3.5 ounces there. This is a wasp pattern. That's not too useful. This is a very thick toe, and you can see it has holes in it there, so that wouldn't be appropriate. This graphite veil is only 0.2 ounce. I think they just probably spray that on. That's probably not useful. The unidirectional carbon, I think this is just like one big flat toe. Excuse me. So I don't think that's too useful. So this is a 2x2 twill. It's 5.7 ounces, and I think this would be too thick for our purposes. I think 5.7 ounces translates to pretty thick, like 120 grams per square meter or something like that. So I think that's probably not super great. This is kind of the same thing. It's the same thickness, but it's a little bit, it's got some holes in it, and on a bias here, it seems like it would wrap around. It feels pretty thick though, although the loose weave to it would easily conform to a compound edge. You can see how it's flexing there. So I could imagine this flexing and compressing to go around the tips, the wing tips. This is a very thick 10.9 ounce twill. It's got some problems with it. Maybe it lost something there. That's probably too thick. This is again a 10.9 ounce fabric. Again, it's way too thick for our purposes. This is almost a 20 ounce fabric and is way too thick. And then this, I think, is the other one that's potentially useful. This is not cheap. It's like $70 a yard, but it's only 3.5 ounces. It's a 1K by 3K carbon fiber weave. You can see it's quite loose, which might be a strength or a weakness. I don't know. We'll see. If we cover on a 45-degree bias, you can see it doesn't really shine much of the blue foam through. So it does seem like it would contour fairly well. It would be cut so it wouldn't have an edge that would leave a mark. And I think that on a 90 degree, it wouldn't really compress very well. But if you cut it on a 45-degree bias, I think there's enough give in it that it might actually go around a contour fairly well. It looks like it would compress and expand. So cutting it on a 45-degree bias, and then either putting it on with 3M77 or with epoxy and letting it cure the night before doing a vacuum bag. I think those are both possibilities. So this, I think, is one possibility that might work. You can see it's got a fair amount of give to it, both pulling and compressing. So I'm pretty sure that this would actually do something that would go around a contour. Let's see again what the so there you can see there are some gaps that opened up as I was messing with it, and you get a little bit of blue through. That probably would, some marker or some just some touch-up paint would probably take care of after the actual vacuum bagging. And so it is 3.5 ounce. It feels pretty flexible. It feels not as thick. Maybe it's hard to tell if it's about as thick as the Tech Stream. Maybe it's about the same thickness of it. I think 3.5 ounce is maybe 90 grams per square meter. I'll have to check and see. But so this I think is maybe the best option for a carbon fiber leading edge.